Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be reviewing The Old Guard on Netflix, starring Charlize Theron. This is a movie about it's basically a fantasy movie slash action movie that's basically, so it's Charlize Theron. She stars as a character named Andy. She's a member of a four-member mercenary team that basically takes odd jobs around the world to do kind of mercenary work, to take out, basically go into countries, troubled countries, take out bad guys and rescue innocents. And they just go, and that's how they pretty much make a living. So the movie starts out, and you go. They're very. They go out and they meet up with a CIA contact of theirs, played by Chiwetel Ejiofor. And so they get a mission from him. They have to go to South Sudan to rescue these women and children from the regime there. So they head out to Sudan. They're all geared up. They head to the location in question. They breach it, and then but what it turns out is that when they get there, it's an ambush, and they are ambushed and killed by a group of gun wielding assailants, or so you think. They're sitting there supposedly dead, and then they get up, they rise from the dead, and they kill all their assailants. So basically, you reveal that they are immortal. So they're an immortal squad that's going around and for many centuries and basically liberating people. So they're very secretive. They go around, and in fact, there was one scene where a tourist accidentally took her picture, and she goes, "Oh, hey, let me take your picture," and she deletes the photo. So it's the way they survived all these centuries, and making sure that they don't, are being traced or photoed. Well, as of getting back to when they were ambushed, though, they kill they rise up and they heal and they kill all their assailants. But unfortunately, they were filmed doing this. The Chiwetel's character, he had set up hidden cameras to film them, so now he's got evidence of their immortality, and they can't. And so this is a big problem for them because for them to be effective, they gotta hide from humanity. They can't. Their biggest fear is being captured, and so now they have to find them and stop this. So after this, it then goes to the scene shifts to Afghanistan, where the soldier named Niall. She's part of a unit, and so they go to this village to find a terrorist, and that's killing it. So they figure out where the terrorist is. They breach him, and they're forced to shoot him. But as he lays dying, he gets out a knife and he slits her throat. And from all her appearances, she had died. Her squad members there confirm and see that she pretty much died from her wounds. Well, then all of a sudden, the next day, which is in she somehow mysteriously heals, and so it appears that she's one of the other, just like Andy's squad, played by Charlize Theron, is Andromeda. Just like her, looks like she has immortality. She's got the gift. And so while Andy's team, the team is obviously known as the Old Guard, while they're traveling in a train, they all have dreams of her, all visions of her, and it's like that's how all these immortals connect, is through dreams. So once someone goes immortal, once they die and their immortality is triggered, then they have dreams about each other, so they can connect and get together. So they decide to go to Afghanistan, and she's about to be so before Niall's about to be sent back to Germany. They rescue her, take her away from there, and then they tell her the whole deal, how kind of the immortality works, and how old they are and stuff. And it's never really stated how old what's name Andromeda is, but it hinted at that she's at least a millennia or two old. And the other three guys, two of them date back to at least the Crusades, and the other guy dates back to the time of Napoleon. So they're very old. They've all been working together for a really long period of time. So basically, that footage that Chiwetel Ejiofor got from him, he's getting that because he's hired by a biotech CEO named Merrick. He basically wants to capture them to get a hold of their DNA so he can make drugs that can help cure diseases. And of course, he claims it's for the good of humanity, but of course, as everybody, even he's being called out in the movie that, yeah, just like any biotech CEO, it's for the profit. That's what he wants them for. And he basically wants to use them for his human guinea pigs to get their DNA and, make an unseen fortune, off their DNA to make synthetic drugs from that. So it goes from there. So they bring Niall in to be part of the team. They clue her in on all their histories, and then of course throughout the time the Merrick's forces and Chiwetel's are still tracking them. And so then at some point they do catch up to him, and two of the guys on the team are captured. And so basically that comes so then that becomes a dilemma. Is like, okay, they need to rescue their captured comrades, but then also too we learn throughout the movie that they're not truly immortal. That there is a limitation on their immortality. So that then becomes the dilemma. Is like, okay, we have to go after them, but what happens if we could truly die? That's what Charlize Theron character is now worried about. Is like, oh my gosh, we could truly now die in this part. So obviously I won't give away what happens in the movie, but I think. So after all, I really like this. I really enjoyed this movie. I really enjoyed the action in the movie. There's really great set pieces, great action. It kind of me, especially when Charlize Theron's kicking a lot of butt and killing people. It kind of reminds me of her role in Atomic Blonde. Very much, kind of very much. Also, a lot of Fury Road kind of I see influence in there too from her past roles. And I loved too in this movie. Of course, because with the immortality angle to it, it kind of reminded me a lot of Highlander. If you're a fan of Highlander in that series, I mean, of course, the only difference being that instead of immortals killing each other for their power, they need to team up to to survive. In fact, their biggest worry, obviously, throughout the movie set was being captured because they do have a flashback of 500 years earlier where one of their fellow mortals. They had been captured during the Middle Ages. Andy Andromeda with this other lady. They were accused of being witches, and then of course they couldn't die after all the torture. They couldn't die, so that kind of proved to the church at the time that they were witches. And so that character was then placed in a lead coffin and thrown into the ocean. So basically, for the past 500 years, she's been drowning to death. She kept drowning, reviving, and then drowning again. So that's like the ultimate nightmare of these group is like, oh my god, if we get captured, we could be tortured for eternity and killed over and over, which is the ultimate nightmare. And to an extent, that kind of does happen during this thing where they are captured and basically being experimented on. So there's their fight to not be captured and to save their fellow comrades. And then also for Niall, the feel like the tension too is for her is she's a brand new mortal, so she's very very still much tied to her family. She still views herself as a Marine. Andy at the time was saying like, no, you're not a Marine anymore. You're one of us. And so now, but she's like, no, I could still have years with my family. I gotta let my mom know that I'm still alive. I want to see her one last time. So that's the tension for her. That the whole movie's like, okay, do I want to go back to my family and spend a little time they have left with me, watch them age and die, or do I stick with my new family that I could spend most of eternity with? So that is the dilemma, because as an immortal, you pretty much everyone you love is going to eventually die. That's not an immortal. So that is that's kind of the tension throughout the movie as well. So I love the themes in this movie of life and death. I love how they were weaved into history. At that point there too, before he puts up a collage of all the acts that they've done throughout history that's been compiled, and how many people they've saved, and in turn, how those people saved other people, and causing chain effect, showing that, oh, we thought these people are really bad for science. In fact, they've made a really good impact on society. So, like I said, I really enjoyed this movie. It was a clever story, and I enjoyed the action. If you love action, this is definitely definitely a kick butt action filled movie. So, of course, this is on Netflix. So I highly recommend. The Old Guard. And they kind of did hinted that they did place seeds there that there could be a sequel. So if they do a sequel, I highly look forward to it. I really enjoyed the series. I'd love to see what happens next. So once again, everybody, that's my review of The Old Guard. I highly recommend it. And once again, please like, share, and subscribe. And I thank you so much for tuning in.